1 in 5 millennials have written off the idea that they'll ever own a home, but it's not impossible. What up, everyone? I'm Carmen Perez, and this is Getting Rich. And today, we're going to be talking about buying a home. Yes, it's a big deal, but don't worry, it's achievable. Let's start with mortgages. What does that word even mean? Let's break it down. So this is you, and this is the home that you want to buy. Now meet your lender. They'll give you a loan if you can put down cash. Typically, first-time home buyers will pay between 3.5 and 10% of a home's cost. But let's say for this scenario, you put down 20% of your home's cost. And the rest of the loan is what you have to pay back. Spread that over time, plus interest, and that's a mortgage. Now, let's go over a simple checklist that will let you know if you're in good shape to stop fantasy browsing on Zillow and could actually qualify to purchase a home. The minimum credit score to make the minimum down payment of 3.5% is 580. But the truth is, most lenders require a score of at least 620 or higher. But the higher the score, the better. While the minimum requirement is often a lot less, estimating a 20% down payment towards a home is a great starting point. Remember, the more you put down up front, the lower your monthly payment will be. Know your monthly debt to income ratio. Lenders like to see that number at 36% or less. You can find this by taking your reoccurring monthly debt and dividing it by your monthly income before taxes. Lenders like to see that you're a sure bet. So 2 years in the same job is a good look. And if not, 2 years in the same industry is the next best thing. And that covers the basics. Let's meet with our guest who is ready to buy their first home, Hitomi. Hitomi, welcome to the show. It's so wonderful to have you on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and what brings you on today.
Okay, so I have 2 kids and I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment in New York, and the space is getting tighter now. So we will looking to buy a house eventually, and then if there's any advice that you can give today would be great.
What area do you all want to live in? That's something really important to just kind of start feeling out.
Well, ideally, somewhere in a Long Island, it would be more family friendly and yet keep the good distance commute for my husband's job. So
yeah, and that makes total sense. And so one, it's where do you want to live? So you have that figured out, what's important on that list. And then you kind of get into the numbers, right? So my best rule of thumb when it comes to anything as it relates to mortgages or rent is try to keep that number under 25% of your take-home pay.
Okay.
Which I know it's a little challenging in the city. So for my New York City folks and large city people, I say under 30%. That's okay.
Including tax.
That's including tax. That's all of the things. All right, and the next thing is just getting the paperwork together, right? So that can look like making sure you got your job history together. Mortgage companies are going to start asking for all of this. So having all that in a nice, pretty package is very helpful, and it eases the stress and process of buying a home because it can be a long and daunting task. So getting the paperwork together as far as bank statements, all of your investments, being able to show proof of that. It's really nice to have a pre-approval letter that you can go in with, especially if it's a home that you've fallen in love with and there's other buyers that are potentially trying to get it. That pre-approval can put you to the top of that list because you've already qualified, you've done all that paperwork. That can take quite some time for a lot of folks. And you have this note in hand saying, I'm able to purchase this and I'm a sure bet.
Do you think that now is a good time to buy, or what do you take?
So I can't say there's a right or wrong answer. It's really just where that price point fits in for you. Really, it's just important at finding a price that it works for you and your family, and being able to ask yourself, can we live here for the next 5-10 years, to make sure what all these costs for closing and moving and doing all the things, is it going to be worth it? Because those costs are so astronomical right now.
Right.
Well, it's been fantastic having you on the show. I love this conversation, and I wish you the best of luck in your home buying journey.
Thank you so much.
We know that buying a home is one of the best long-term investments, but a mortgage is a long-term commitment. It may be hard to know when you're really ready, but one quick way to find out is asking yourself these 3 questions. Can I live in this home and this city for at least 5 years? Can I cover at least 3 months of living expenses with an emergency fund? Can I count on a steady income for the next 5 years? If you answered yes to all 3 of these, you're definitely ready to start taking the next steps. Happy house hunting.